So, yeah,
So
one of my sisters is a research scientist. She has a PhD in molecular biology. And then my youngest sister, she's a registered nurse. She just actually got her first shot last week, actually. And so,
okay.
she said it's a little soreness in the arm. My baby sister, I'm going to have on an upcoming episode, probably like in the next week or two, when I schedule some kind of line up, and we're going to talk about that she works for one of the local health departments here in Fairfax County, where I live at in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Hopefully, moving forward, we can start getting people vaccinated, and we can begin to get, like a hold of this thing. And people are still going to have to take some personal responsibility. Still mask up. Still do social distancing, and shutting down restaurants and everything else, I don't think is really the answer, because I'm a rideshare driver by profession, and I got to tell you, there are plenty of times when I pull up to a residence and you're waiting for a rider, and you see that door open, and you see dozens of people in there, and they're hooting and hollering, and nobody's wearing a mask, and then they come out, and then they see I'm wearing a mask, and so then, they're scrambling, to put like a mask on. So in terms of personal responsibility, that definitely needs to happen for us to get a hold of this thing. One thing too is, in nature, viruses do mutate, and the more hosts that they infect, at some point in time, they mutate, and sometimes they mutate to a point as to where they become a lot more aggressive, more virulent. We saw this happen with the 2018 influenza outbreak.
We're seeing it now. We have a couple of more strains out there.
Yes, exactly. A lot more contagious. So, hopefully, just with some common sense and proper information, coming from the top, hey, this is what's going on. We can, move forward. And, I like to be at a point maybe later in the year where I feel comfortable going out to eat at a restaurant again. And, Geoff, I worked in that business for over 30 years, and, unless like a lot of these smaller restaurants, you get a good infusion of cash, they're going to be out of business in the next couple months. They just won't make it.
I've seen it, and I don't agree with it either. Shutting them down is not a good plan at all. In restaurants, usually when you go, there's spacing in restaurants. You can social distance. Again, like you just said, people have to take some personal responsibility. It's a minor inconvenience to wear a mask. I've heard every argument under the sun for not wearing a mask. Oh, it's like the Nazi star that they used to make the Jews wear. No, this is not that. This is us trying to protect the public health and implement, some guidelines that will help protect us. You want your businesses to stay open. You want your restaurants to stay open. Take some personal responsibility. Wear a mask. That's all it takes.
And it's the same. You're hearing the exact same arguments that people were making back during the influenza outbreak, back at the beginning of the 20th century, back in 1918, 1919. It's my right, blah blah blah. And you would think after 100 years as a society, we would have learned something, but it's just the same old thing, and it's sad.
And until we learn from that history, we're condemned to repeat it.
Yeah, very true.
Cliche.
Very true. Very true.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah. So, of course, the